So what's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tae and Katie. And we have some very special guests today. We're gonna have Dawn and Mary from the Two Hip Chicks. We have Johnny from Kajun Roots Reseller and my man Cameron from Gravity Goods. Yes, it's a special episode of A Couple Entrepreneurs today because it is Pride Month and we are all about pride. We are just we you know what it is on this channel. We don't do no discriminating. We love everybody. We represent everybody, and we want everybody to be themselves, and that's what we represent. So, and yeah, they're resellers as well. We have pride in reselling, hence the topic. There's pride in reselling. So
That's right.
Yeah, but without further ado, I'm going to catch up with the chat because I don't want y'all talking about me and everything because I know how y'all do. So, welcome, Renee. Thank you so much, and Rob. I'm driving from my parents' farm while trying to watch in the car, depending on service. Make sure you watch the road.
Yeah, jeez. Please watch the road, Renee.
Please watch the road. Hello, Johnny. How are you doing? Up in the top right-hand corner, if you're looking at the screen. Driving home to North Carolina from Nashville. I'll try to watch while driving. Everybody's driving.
Safe.
Everybody, be careful if you're driving.
It's Sunday.
Be careful.
Mother's Day.
Jen's
Beautiful
Closet.
rainbow
How are you
hearts.
doing?
Hey, Jen.
Cool.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
How are you doing today? See you later. What's going on, Paul? What up, y'all? Can't stay long. Spending the day with my pops. Wanted to drop in, smash the like, and let you know I'm a big fan of your content. Thank
Paul,
you so
why are
much.
you hanging out with a lot of canned pop? I don't understand what you mean with his pops.
His pops. Yes, that's actual. That's not soda. It's his actual pop.
Daddy. Yeah.
I had to do it. Had to go there.
I know.
Hello, Robert. Thank you so much
here.
for dropping in.
Hey, Robert. What's up,
Hey,
man?
Robert.
How are you doing, Cameron? Who
Hey,
we have on the
Cameron.
right bottom half of the screen, if you happen to be looking. What's going on, Carl Apple Pro?
What's up, Carl?
Carl Apple Pro.
Oh.
We always go through that. Hello, Angela. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. And then the lovely Ella. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Hi, beautiful Ella.
Yes, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You know who you are, good fathers. I'm only wishing y'all happy Father's Day, to be honest. All you bad fathers, hope you walk in traffic. Just saying.
My God.
Hello, Ella. Save her first. Gravity, we already got that. Boom. Hello, Two Hip Chicks, who we're gonna have on the bottom left hand of the screen. Fashionably late. I saw that comment. You're not late. You're right on time. What's going on, Louis? Hope you're having a good day. What's going on, Derek? And Derek has a special surprise for everybody today as we carry out the show. And Miss Levin, what I do? How are you doing? Dixon's Pickens. What you picking today? I saw you was blowing up Instagram yesterday.
Yeah.
You was blowing up.
It was.
What's up?
Say hello, start driving now. See, it looks like I'm almost. Hello, Flippin' Mom.
Flippin' Mom of 5.
How are you doing? I haven't seen that name in a while. Hope you're
5
doing
kids.
5 kids. How many kids?
God bless you.
We're going to have
3
10.
max. 3 max.
We're going to have 10 kids. We're going to be like the Partridge Family.
Ooh.
Help me.
I am lying. I am so lying. If we have 10 kids, they will be fish.
Facts.
There you go.
Apples.
Diana, thank you so much for joining the show.
Hey,
the chat.
Diana.
So, guys, how are y'all doing? Everybody on the screen. Everybody talking one time. How are y'all doing?
Great.
Sweet.
Wow.
Great. Awesome.
Good.
I don't stink anymore. She doesn't, and she took a shower, so that's good.
Thank you.
Very busy
Jesus,
weekend.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm happy about that. You guys don't care.
I'm happy about it.
I'm very happy.
I couldn't stand myself anymore.
We were pushing stuff into a storage unit, so that's why.
Ouch.
Oh, that's not bad. That means you're working hard.
Working
You smell better.
Cameron smells something.
Yes. Working
Cameron
for the
smells
money.
something.
You smell
I'm glad
something
I'm
right?
sitting right now.
It smells better now.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd put that out there.
She
You know,
doesn't stink. Everybody now knows she doesn't stink, which is good.
Do I think?
No.
Jen
Yeah.
says that her weekly
now
shower
everybody's
refreshes her.
conscious of their stink.
Yeah,
I
Wait a
guess.
minute.
Now we got
No.
everybody check. My weekly shower always refreshes me.
Always. Weekly. Whether you need it or not, right, Jen? Yeah. She
Yeah,
showers weekly, whether she needs it or not.
only when the Cowboys are playing.
Ooh.
Pew pew. So Cameron, you been having a good week so far?
Yeah. It's all right.
Cool.
Profits. I've seen you've been doing a lot of sourcing
Yeah,
as well.
sourcing. What's going on?
Yeah, I had a day last week where, like, right when I got back from Cincinnati, where I had 0 sales.
Wow.
And I couldn't remember like, I thought something was broken on eBay.
Right.
But then I was like, all right, well, that's just like the universe telling me to bust my butt, get more crap, and get it
Right.
listed. So I just started like listing like a madman, and things have been better the last week. A lot better, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, some golf clubs, some like higher end stuff that you get a little bit more money from.
Okay.
Very cool.
No,
I'm happy, even if I seem a little not so happy. I'm just tired. I've had a long weekend so far.
Yeah.
Oh, we get that.
I feel you right there.
Yeah, I would totally understand that, dude.
Yeah,
Totally.
we get that.
You know, something like this, it's like you want to like come with energy and happiness and joy.
You're like,
And I just didn't have time. Like, my wife was helping me like do stuff in the garage, and I was like, "Hey, Dios mío." There you go, Katie.
Mhm.
I was like, I just have to like just come and just be. It's okay if I'm not like,
Yeah, that's what
I'll
it's
pick up on y'all's energy.
And I'd almost prefer that. Like, we don't want you to necessarily put on a show. Like, you can be your true self, and your true self is sometimes tired. And that is just
stinky and stink. Sometimes you're just tired and stinky, and that's the way it is.
You know, I had every
Work.
intention of taking a shower before
Me
this.
too.
It just didn't happen. I at least threw on some pit stick, so I got deodorant
Okay.
on.
God bless. God bless, Cameron.
I didn't even do that. You one step ahead of me, because I was like, you know what? She was like, let's go to this garage sale, and I was like, baby, I was about to take a shower though. But the prophets is calling. Let's go.
Exactly. Garage
Maybe
cleanliness.
I can watch with that money later on. You know what I'm
And
saying?
we did. It was a pretty decent.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
garage sale.
I'm glad I went, actually. I found a Wii. Don't want to spoil it, but I'm making the video,
Yeah.
editing the video
Yeah,
now.
we got a video coming, but it was good. And he was like, I'm not gonna bring my GoPro. I was like, I don't even know that it'll be worth recording for you. So yeah.
And I should have, because the lady was hilarious. The people at the yard sale was hilarious.
She
And
was awkward.
yeah.
The way it works.
I
It's
was
like, why didn't I bring my GoPro?
Yeah. Johnny,
Yeah.
Mr. Vacation Man.
Yeah.
How was the vacation for you last week?
Yeah.
Actually, it was 2 weeks ago.
Week before
2
last.
weeks,
I'm still
Yeah,
on.
and I already put on my second video of those that we collabed with.
Yep.
Mhm.
I have to do part 2 now of that second one we did with Julia.
Cool.
And then I have probably 2 or 3 more after that, because I met up with Robert and I, Robert, my sister-in-law, and we met up with Alt Country Sales Amber,
Mhm.
her husband Flippin' Mike,
Wow.
and we also did Backroad Bitter Chuck and Marcy. So we all met up and we did a great collab. They already put out some of their videos, but every one of us had a different angle of what we had done throughout the day.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love those.
Yeah. And so I was joking with Chuck, because in one of his videos, he was showing, he went through this one area where he had all the glasses and KitchenAid and stuff like that. And he passed up on the Tupperware. So I had to put a comment in there saying, thank you for leaving the Tupperware for me, because I got it all. So we had fun. It was something different. We do plan on doing that again the week of the 4th of July. Now, if we get to meet up with different other people, we're trying to. But yeah, we're going back on the week of the 4th of July.
Very cool.
Okay, guys. It's about that time for us to get into the bones and meat. Just to get, I mean, so everybody don't like meat. Okay, some people just like chewing on the bones. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so I messed it up. I ain't gonna lie. So let's get into the meat and bones.
He's trying to recover. He's trying to
He's
recover.
trying.
All right. It's
Okay.
okay. It's okay.
So let's go ahead and catch up with the chat before because y'all know how I do. Hello, the nicety seller.
Hey,
Hope you're having a
girl.
wonderful day. Don't start with them shots, Dante. My bad. I'm gonna back off. It's not time yet. What's going on?
Hola,
Callie,
Luis. ¿Cómo
Reseller
estás?
Luis. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hey, watch your mouth about them. Oh, I ain't see y'all about to jump me already. I'm not going for it. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. I agree. And oh man, I was trying to click on it.
Oops.
Thank you so much, Paul, for recognizing that it is your fault.
Paul's
And
fault.
I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you so much. You know how I feel anytime somebody takes some of their hard-earned money that they work for, source for, or whatever, and donate it to your boy. I appreciate that for real. I really, really do. If you want my nursing assistant students to stay clear of me, not showering is a divine intervention.
And I think I'm showering. That's what happens. You bring a shower.
Uh-oh, trouble is in the house, guys. How are you doing, Cheryl?
Hello, Cheryl.
Really? Good
How
to
are you
know
doing,
that's
Miss
trouble.
Taffy?
Hey, Miss Taffy.
Cameron, do you need a quick
Taffy
shower?
alert.
Uh-oh, you're trying to see some. Trying to see something. Taffy, saying hi to each other, saying hi to each other, saying hi to
I
each
blame
other.
Mary for all this shower talk right now.
I know.
right.
Yes.
Blaming Mary for that one.
So without further ado, I would like to introduce Dawn and Mary, who I had the pleasure of meeting for the very first time on the Reseller cruise. And I had the first time hearing about them from actually my man, Johnny. Johnny introduced me to you guys. So, yeah, ended up watching some of your videos and saw I went like deep 2 years back and saw how you were originally thrifting, and I did. I saw you very
Therapy after you watch those?
Yeah, nobody's proud of their old videos. I can tell you that.
Nobody is, especially
Nobody's
me.
proud.
Mine's the worst. I saw like your first lives when you started doing your lives and how your lives started, how your lives came about and everything. So
It was
cool.
It's been a fun journey for sure.
I'm not going to tell you a story. I'm going to leave that up to y'all. So without further ado,
I'd love to hear your interpretation.
Yeah, really. Maybe yours is better than ours. Maybe your story is
About
much
us.
better than ours. It's got to be.
I can't do you
Gotta
justice. I can't do anybody justice like they can do themselves, I believe. So without further ado, guys, and by the way, everybody's links should be in the description box below. So make sure that you click on their links and go subscribe to everybody that we have on the panel, as well as Miss Katey Reeds, who, spoiler alert, next week is her birthday celebration.
Happy
It's on my calendar.
Birthday.
I'm getting
So-
old.
She is. But
Oh, girl, please.
Aren't we all?
so without further ado, we want to introduce to you guys two hip chicks.
Hey,
Oh
guys.
my God, we're big
We're
screen.
big screen.
That's
freaking
right.
Scary.
That's right. So I'm Dawn. That's Mary. And we are resellers. We've just, it's been a year now that we've been full-time reselling. We started out doing it back, part-time for years and years and years. Back when you could take,
Money orders
and checks. That's how long we've been doing it.
Late 90s.
Mary and I met at our former employer, and we just, found out that we really liked each other a lot. And so that's the story for that. But there's a whole video done on how we met and stuff. So, but other than that, we are now full-time reselling. We resell mostly. My thing is electronics and old vintage stuff
And records.
and records. There you go. There's that. And Mary's thing is more glass and
Vintage.
fabric and vintage.
Crafts.
Yep. And you do primitives as well.
Yeah. Pretty much everything else.
So what one of us doesn't do, the only thing we really don't do is clothing. We're not clothing sellers. Other than that,
Maybe someday.
so bring the questions. You got any questions about us? We do a show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, you can make it small, honey. It ain't killing me. Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern time, we do a live chat show, and we cover every topic under the sun, pretty much.
Yeah, and this month for a little bit, we'll talk about Pride
Month. Yeah. So we've been coming on
field questions
talking
from the
about
chat.
Pride flag, what we,
Because, we're all about the education.
exactly. No question is stupid.
I will ask a question
Until I say it is.
immediately.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this. And okay, so the pride flag that you see behind you.
Yeah.
I saw Cameron post a video and it had another pride flag. I see it more now, like in my emoji things.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the significance between the two?
I'm not sure which one Cameron posted.
It's like a
So one
one's
is
like pinkish.
for
Okay, so that's the gender. It's kind of that notes up gender identity.
Yeah,
right. So that one is specific to gender identity, but it's still considered one of the pride flags. So this is just the standard one. This this was the first one that came out. Well, there was a few other colors in it, but
teal
this is the standard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you have variations on that. Some are for
more inclusive of transgender people.
Yep. Yeah. So that would be the one.
So there's one now that where the white stripe is, where you like when you attach it to the flagpole, there's a triangle in it with transgender colors to represent everybody.
Yep. And does that kind of represent the non-binary group as well?
I think it does.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
It has more colors in it.
Yeah.
Because
it's a spectrum, you know. I mean, and people have a hard time understanding gender identity versus gender preference or partner preference.
Sexual preference.
There are different things. Who you are as a person and who you feel you are as a gender or a non-gender, for that matter, is inside you. It's not who you can be attracted to anybody, right? It doesn't matter. But who you're attracted to is who you're attracted to. So there's a difference there. So people sometimes confuse, oh, you're a woman, so you are attracted to women, you're a lesbian. But what if you don't identify as a woman? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of areas. It's a fluid and ever expanding.
Yeah, I have a friend that she doesn't really identify as male or female, so her pronouns are they, them. But she's attracted to males. And so like in theory it could be viewed as like a straight, relationship, but she doesn't identify as a man or a woman with how she presents herself or how she dresses or whatever social cues that we use that our brain processes to try and categorize people, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you got to put them in the slot.
Yeah. Well, you grow up with social norms of, mom, dad, kids, there's boys, there's girls. Boys do this, girls do that. The world is a lot broader than that. And it's very hard for some people to come out of that paradigm and perspective and kind of understand that, oh, there's so much more going on here.
Thus the rainbow.
Yeah, that's the rainbow.
Yeah.
I agree. And not even like the sexual concept. It's even with like the home life. It's like, okay, male, take out trash, cut grass, female, do dishes. Like even like that's ingrained some of us still. Like those things that we still need to like. It's 2021. And I think
that's where toxic masculinity can sometimes, and even in like the Latino culture, that's, even in like Latino culture, like that's very machismo is very, very prominent.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's just in my brain right now because I just got done writing a paper about it, so I don't want to digress. But yeah, I think in the home life too, besides society, but in home life as well, how you're raised.
Yeah. And I love, before we introduce our next guest, Cameron put out a video, and I'll let him speak about his video and everything, but he said something in his video that I definitely am guilty of. I do, this table, I have a lot of black friends, I have a lot of homosexual friends, but I really do. And I was that person when I first got introduced to being comfortable with people who are attracted to the same sex that I am, and they are that sex. When I got comfortable, there was questions that I was asking out of ignorance, not knowing that, maybe you shouldn't be asking those questions. So I will say to you, Cameron, thank you for putting that video out, because I wish I would have seen it a long time ago, because there's just certain things that, like you said, do I want somebody to come up to me like, oh, what's in your pants? Are you, what turns you, what I'm saying? Like, that, like, do I want, what I'm saying? Like,
how do you have sex?
Exactly.
Like,
it's so disrespectful.
Yeah, those questions, not so much.
No, but it seems where some people's brains go.
Because that's how we've been raised, and that's our, how we see things, and we get taught that black and white thinking, when in fact we're on the spectrum. Everybody's on the spectrum.
Facts. That's so true. Johnny, I see you over there in the corner. I see you over. Can I? Oh, I pointed right.
Not me.
I did it.
Wow, you did it right the first time.
Yeah. He's getting better at that.
Right. So
it's hard doing this mirror image thing.
Right?
We know Kajun Roots Reseller Johnny. He runs his show. He did have a question about his $100, which I'll get to you about that a little bit later. But Johnny, this is your time. You know what time it is. Tell the world about you.
All right. I'm Kajun Roots Reseller, also Johnny. Y'all may know me in the morning where I always have the little thing about, I got the dollars, let them have it with no problem. Well, that is just me. I also always say hello. A lot of people have a little hard time saying that, but that's just natural for me. So hello, hello, hello. I say that all the time. So that's just my little, everybody knows it's me when I say it. And of course, I would say it's a joke thing now because I'm known for that. Let them have it with no problems. I got the dollars. I do a morning show Monday through Friday where I bring on a show for those who are trying to grow their channel. I promote their channel, and I also have it as a guest every Monday through Friday where it's a different guest every day. And then I open the chat for everyone else who wants to come in and either talk about your channel, promote your channel. I also started, since I got monetized, a community page where I promote and feature a channel a week. It comes out on Fridays on the community page, and it goes to the next Friday where I change it on every Friday. It could be anybody who's trying to get to 1,000, trying to get watch hours. It could be anybody just trying to make a milestone. And so you never know when I'm going to put you up on the community page as a featured channel. I am now, I always say this because this is just me. I don't identify myself as a gay male. I just identify myself as who I am. When somebody asks me, are you gay? I say, no, my ex-husband is. But for me, I'm always happy. I try to be. There are some days that I can't. It's just you overcome it the best you can. I try to keep things positive because I find that when you do things positive in your morning shows or any show you do, it rubs off on everybody in the chat, and that's what I look forward to. I also do Monday night bingos every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's free to play. You win money. You win prizes. Excuse me. You win prizes every time you win. Every time you win. Every Tuesday, I do the Holla Dollar Money in Motion. It was something that started with somebody reached out to me in the chats one morning and said, can you do the Kaching-a-thon? I said, well, I looked into it, and again, that's Dom, so I didn't want to be exactly like that. So I changed it up. It was right before March Madness for the basketball tournament, so that's how I got the Holla Dollar. Somebody said it in the chat, gave me a couple ideas. So I just took the Holla Dollar Money in Motion, put it together, and that's how that was born. And that started in February, and it's been our 4th round of competition going on. Every Wednesday, I do the Hump Day auction. Yes, that is correct. What day it is, it's always Hump Day on Wednesdays. So I have a permanent host, and we do the rotations on that. You just never know what you're going to find. If you ever have any questions or you're looking for something, you always put it in the chat, and we always make sure somebody who has it brings it up. For me, and being in a gay lifestyle or in that category, so to say, when I was growing up, my dad always had this comment where, no one in this family was going to be gay. There's a whole bunch of things that people have this mindset on back in the day. When I did come out to my family after I was married to a woman. She and I got divorced after she got caught fooling around on me when I came home from one day off offshore. She's in a bed with another man, so that's how we divorced. Unreconcilable differences, and then after the divorce was final, I then came out and told my family first. My mom's comment was, I already knew. Dad's comment was, that's a phase. So now the little joke is with Robert, and y'all know Robert in the chat, Robert Krennig, that is my husband. We've been together 11 years, married for the last 6 of those 11 years when it came legal, and we got married in 2016. So with that, my dad, now I joke with him and say, Dad, do you think it's still a phase? He says, no, I like Robert. He's good. You got to keep him. So that's how we joke about it now. My family has loved, we all get along, and again, I look at it this way. It's not what we title ourselves with, it's the person I am. When I first came out on YouTube, when we moved from Louisiana to here, Robert, I asked Robert, I said, well, what am I going to do? Because I have businesses that I had always been in business since 2005. What am I going to do? Well, actually, he started showing me these videos on thrifting. He said, you can do this. It's like, I don't know about that. So needless to say, and here I am 2 years ago. On the 24th, it'll be 2 years I've been doing eBay, and a year and 6 months, and a little over 6 months that I've been doing YouTube, and the rest is history.
Wow. Here is Johnny. What a story, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep, it is.
It's crazy. Just before I catch up, I'm going to catch up with
we got to give a shout out to Cheryl.
I put the B in LGBTQ so no one's safe from getting hit on. Just saying.
Yeah.
Y'all know what time.
We got you, Cheryl. We got you, Cheryl.
Happy early birthday, Katie.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Cameron. You didn't even have to do like you're literally right there. Almost.
There.
I was going to figure it the opposite way where you think it's going to be. Yeah.
And you did buy me a bud something on the boat.
I know, but it wasn't the corona.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
okay.
failures.
So
Had to
nice,
make up.
Cameron.
It's okay, man. Yes, to electronics. I remember eBay took checks. Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah, I remember my dad taking money orders. My dad was on eBay a long time ago when I was like in middle school, high school. I remember him taking checks and stuff.
I remember how they were
You had to wait for it to clear before you
Yeah.
before you could mail the
Yeah, it
item.
was like normal to have it be 30 days start to finish when you placed an order before you received it.
Now they want it in 2 days,
Yeah.
24 hours. Have you sent my order? I just ordered it 10 minutes ago, but I just wonder if you sent it yet.
Yep.
You got my tracking number yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check your email.
That was crazy.
I remember sending money orders. Was the category for free because I'm in the group. No,
someone calm down, Cheryl.
Somebody.
My mom's in
Go,
the
girl.
chat, Cheryl.
Simmer down,
That's
Cheryl.
right.
Simmer down.
Up in here. He's locking me, Cameron. My son has been schooling me on the prior representation for several years. Thank goodness he did to help me develop a better knowledge base.
Good.
Yeah, these kids nowadays ain't playing no games. You gonna know
I
today.
love that.
That's very cool.
I love it. It's
They're
hard to
very,
keep up
very-
sometimes, but I don't want to be what I saw in the older generation when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. I want to learn and do better.
And encourage that in others, for sure.
Sure.
It was so definitely so closed-minded back in the day. Like I don't think the conversation, if you even try to approach the conversation, it would like just get shut down immediately. Like it was dialogue.
No,
was
we didn't
even
talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, I would have made different decisions if I would have had a little more information when I was younger, and I think a lot of people would have. But you know, it just where I grew up, which is Midwest Michigan, you know, Western Michigan, conservative, and nobody talked about it, you know. And if you even thought you might be leaning that way, it was like you're too good of friends with that girl or whatever, you know. It's just like it was. It was just not a thing.
Wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, so I made stupid decisions then. Okay, I'm going to go marry a man. Obviously, that's what is expected of me, and I just, I ended up suppressing that part of my personhood, who I am, and
for a long
time. I mean, we were married for 15 years,
and people are like,
yeah. So, but yeah, if the world had been a different place, I wouldn't have made that decision, and I would have been probably much happier for it.
Yeah. And then back in the day, back in that day, you basically, for me, I basically was doing it to marrying a woman to keep my family happy, but I was not happy.
Exactly.
After 3 years, and we got that divorce, and I just said, "Look, I got to be happy for myself. I'm not tired of trying to be hiding of somebody who I'm not. First of all, and then trying to make the family happy. It wasn't working. So."
Yeah, it's crazy what we do sometimes to make other people more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Than ourselves. It is crazy.
Thank you very much.
We live our lives trying to do that. Like majority, we live our lives trying to please other people. Like basically, majority of our lives, even as kids, we try to please our friend or our parents in most cases. And then even as parents, we try to please our kids, our parents still. The society in the way that we raise our kids. We try to please the teachers who tell us how to raise our children. So it's just like that's all we know, like throughout life, man.
Exactly.
It's wild.
When it comes, can I say something about pleasing people?
Oh yeah, of course.
So I think most of you probably know this, and if you don't, now you're gonna know why I feel this strongly. But a lot of times, if people shorten my name, I'll be like, "Hey, can you please call me Cameron?" And most people are just like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know. I thought I was being sweet." And just, it's like somebody's Robert, you might just call him Bob because you assume that their family and friends call him Bob. Right. Anyway, I changed my name when I decided what name I want to now go by, my legal name, in a manner to please everyone else, to make it easier for everyone else to transition. And so, my former name started with a K. I'm not going to say what it was. But when people would start to say my old name and then they could in their head go Cameron, then I was trying to make it easier for them. Whereas if I changed my name like David or something, like that would have been tougher for people. But now when my name is shortened, it reminds me of my old name. And so it's kind of this like trick. It's like it was a catch-22. Like I shot myself in the foot because on one hand I was trying to please everyone else, but now when I hear my name Cameron but short, like, I don't like it. So people sometimes are like, man, he gets really sensitive when you shorten his name. And it's not that maybe I am sensitive. I'm a Pisces, but
you're allowed to be.
Yeah. So that people, because there's 30-something people in here, and thank y'all for hanging out with us. But so if you see in the chat that I'm like, hey, can you please call me Cameron? Just know that it's not that like I don't like you or like how dare you call me by my name shortened. It's just, it reminds me of my old name. So
well, that's out of respect for you too, though. You know, that's what you want to be called, and that is your name. So yeah. Respect.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yes, because I tend to like shorten people's names, you know,
nickname people. Yeah. It's like very common in my family too. People like the nickname type thing, and but I mean, it also like kind of puts you in check. Like, okay, remember, not everyone's like you. Not everyone's like how your family was, and that's okay. Like, that's the point. That's why we're here. We're all supposed to be different from each other. Like, so. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Cameron, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
Hello, Key Lime Campus. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, everyone.
And my man Steve-O, thank you so much.
Steve-O.
Amari Resellers identify as transgender. Woo, pride.
What's up, Amari?
What's up?
That's right.
Sal, hope you're having a wonderful day.
Hey, Sal.
That little Cameron is for me.
I was gonna say, what's up with the Cameron?
The funny thing is like, no offense, Sal, but he's not like Paul. He's kind of a small guy too, but he calls me Cameron. For those who don't know, Spanish means shrimp.
Shrimp, yeah.
Brick Quest.
Hey, Brick Quest.
You bet. Yes, they are, Cameron. Scary sometimes, but I am never too old to be schooled. Facts. None of us are ever too old.
Exactly.
My son came out of the box, same thing. Said I was glad he felt safe to share something so important, but I already knew. Wow, full house here on the live. Let's go. Smash that.
That's right.
Let's get some love, like all that.
Picking for a living. Thank you for coming.
Hey, picking for a
living. One thing about this, I'm glad you did this, Tate, because of the fact that we are bringing, and it's not that we're putting it out here and flaunting it, so to say. It's more of a brighten of education for a lot of people who are afraid to ask certain things. And for me, I'm a type of person, I don't flaunt it, but I don't hide it.
Right.
I'm going to be who I am. But if somebody ever has a questions, I will not hesitate to answer it in the best that I can without being ignorant to the facts that someone is questioning it, you know? And one of the things about this whole community, even when we were going to the church in New Orleans, we had the founders who founded the church that we were going to, but then they had this huge fire in New Orleans that was part of a bar on top. In where the church was, they had the church and the bar there, and there was a massive amount of people who died in that fire because they could not get out because of someone who passed by said they were going to show them something back in the day and threw a lighter and torched the place up, and there was so many people that died. And so many people have fought for us to be where we are today.
So
this is a good thing about us bringing this education.
Yeah, facts. And
because everyone has a different way to live, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's bringing awareness to what we have going on. You know, it's a true fact.
And it's not safe for everybody to be out.
No, even today.
You know, there could be lurking and just feel, you know, supported in a way and without having to be out because it's not safe for them. But
well, especially the younger generation. I mean, now, go ahead.
What she was saying, they can see representation and not necessarily have to, you know, feel alone and isolated.
Right. And I think this generation now, we're opening the doors for others who are feeling a little bit comfortable but still scared to come out because of different states and different areas and how bad it is. But I think the more that people open up to it and see that we're here for them, we're not here to judge them because we've been judged already before with this. So it's just a matter of opening arms and our hearts to others who are in that same situation we were back then in the day.
So is Cameron going to do his full
Yeah, we're on our intro now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. We're going to get to him.
I mean, we had to do it.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to do it. I just want to reiterate, like, And we are definitely not all the way there, because if this is like one of the countries that's it's open, like there are countries where literally like you cannot even act, or they can't even think that you are, because if they do, they will kill you. Like it's serious. People, we take for granted of the opportunities that we do really have over here in this country. So slowly we're taking by our example, it's taking effect over there. Slowly, like at a super snail's pace. They just now started allowing female entertainers in some of these countries. So like but that's a whole other subject.
The one thing I want to add about the education piece is one of my bi friends, she explained to me that it's important also to like ask if they're comfortable answering questions, because some mentally just kind of feel like there's a lot of pressure, and like and I know some of my Black friends kind of feel like this too, like they're the only one in the room that's Black, and so a teacher's like, oh well, what do you think about this, or educate us about that, and not everybody is up for that. Not everybody has that energy or that desire or feels comfortable talking to a group of people about that. So she really educated me on that, because like it's almost really selfish of me to just assume that I can ask a bunch of questions and you're going to educate me when Google is free. So that's what she kept saying. She's like, Google is free, but if someone is comfortable with, you know, just ask them, be like, are you okay if I ask you some questions? And if they say yes, then ask them the questions. If they say, honestly, like mentally, it's tough for me to do that, then just respect that and continue to like be their friend and love them. But I think that's a really good piece also to the education side of it. Some people are like totally for it, and that's their passion. And then other people are just like, it was tough enough for me to just tell my parents, like, I don't want to have to explain to you how I live my life and the struggles that I go through. Like, so that was a really good eye opener for me.
Right.
True. I agree with that.
That had its flaws.
Thank you very much.
Same thing.
Johnny's saying I'm not really out about, you know, he's not really like flaunting it. And I'm going with that hat on, dude. And that shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just saying, Johnny.
My gaydar is
here's Johnny. This is what you get.
I see the freak is still not accepted. We used to have to stay hiding, folks, for the mamas.
Oh, sure.
Wow. You accept it.
It's a Sunday.
That's how we're taught.
As
a toddler. Facts. Just subs everyone in the panel. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So sorry, I remember when I did that. Education. And this is why I want, before I introduce Cameron, I had to get to this. Here's the $5 in advance so you can buy me a beer at the next rally. Thank you so much. Roman. This is Roman. This is the guy. You might hear a lot of people saying,
Roman is the man.
Big fan of your channel. This is where we get it from. He literally told 200 people the same line at the rally.
He was a hoot.
Yeah, I've been singing a lot of
chants. We're talking about rallies. Hope you're coming to my rally, Roman. The link is
October.
Not in the description, but I have a video about it. So go find that video, or go find me on Instagram, hit my link tree, and then buy tickets because they on sale. But this ain't about me. Let's continue.
Hey, little promotion.
God, please do not call me Cinderella.
Oh, yeah.
I want to make a comment about the race thing. I don't never forget when I was in school. I had a friend of mine. She was her dad was a postal clerk. We were best friends. She was like my sister. And so one day she came over and I introduced her to my mom and said, "Mom, here's my sister." She looked at her. She says, "How can it be your sister? She's black and you're white." I said, "No, that's my sister." Like looking at her skin color, I'm looking at her inside, and we've been best friends. And so after that, my dad, every time she sees my dad in the city, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" He goes and gives her a hug and all that, you know. So yeah, it's like, well, that's the way it is, you know. We have to be all together, you know. There is no separation, but we have to deal with it that way, though.
But we have to acknowledge.
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge you can't be colorblind.
Facts.
You know, when people say I don't see black.
I can't stand people like that.
Oh my, that's right up there with. But I have black friends.
Yeah,
exactly.
And one, and people tell me that we used to work at the former place. They're like, "Well, I have black friends." I said, "When's the last time you had them over for dinner?"
Yeah.
So, and they were like, "Well, I said, "Yeah, then no."
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
she's diplomatic. I'm more like not.
Nice.
He just says shit, and I have to go. But yeah. So
I have a lot of
He's
pictures of
all
my
over.
friends from New Orleans in the living room. I don't look at color because I go to every one of their weddings, their wakes, their funerals for somebody in the family, celebrate their birthdays, 4th of July barbecues, you name it. We're always there, you know. Have a good time. So
that's a different type of relationship for sure.
Yeah.
You're missing out if you don't look at it that way.
Everybody watching know I'm black. If y'all say y'all don't know I'm black, you're lying to yourself. I don't see color, so what you're saying, you don't see me.
Yeah.
Katie's talking, I just hear
it's not everything about you, but it's part of who you are.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
to deny that is to deny your experiences.
Because I can never walk in your shoes
right
and know what it's like to experience to have your skin tone.
Exactly.
I just don't. I don't have that experience. So
to discount it is not.
You have
cool.
to be. You have to recognize it.
Yeah.
Facts.
And respect.
And Amari, I wanted to, Cameron. I know Cameron. He's seen the comment, but just wanted to show the love, man, because y'all see people are experiencing each other and meeting each other, and now like, wow, I'm not alone. Like that, a statement alone, like.
I want to make a comment on that. There are some others that are in the community I know about because they've come to me and talked to me. So y'all are not alone. There is a lot of them that are still not ready to come out. There are some more in the community that are starting to feel comfortable. They even come to me and do a private chat and talk to me about it. And so I have to say, yes, you're not alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Surely.
That's what's up. And I'm gonna let Cameron introduce himself. And Cameron, you said something in the Reseller Coming Out video. Do you ever get flake or give her flack for being quietly proud? Because I'm not loud about my identity either, but I never deny who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't win.
No.
Yeah, you're either too out for some people or not out enough, and but yes.
Well, you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable with yourself, regardless, wherever you go. In life, it's just that's the way it is.
Facts. I agree. So without further ado, because I'm pretty much caught up. Cameron, we're going to full screen, and I'm gonna go back to that question again, so maybe you can answer it. From Gravity Goods, once again, everybody's link is in the description box below. So without further ado, I want to introduce my friend. Cameron.
What's up, everybody? Well, my name's Cameron. Oh gosh, this is always so awkward. I don't know how much is too much and what's not enough. I'll just say I live in Oregon. I resell part-time. Been with my partner for enough years that I can't remember. So less than 20, but more than 15. She doesn't know either. So, it's not like she would be upset that I don't know the exact amount of years. We have a 17-year-old, love cats, love dogs. They're all rescued. I'm trans. I just made a video coming out to the reseller community last week. Essentially kind of did that because I had learned that a couple people found out, or at least one that I know of, and was sharing that information. And so before people who are, whether you're an acquaintance or you're just one of what my wife calls my internet friends, I, of course, wanted people to know from me. I didn't want them to oh, did you hear this person told that person who told that person, like that telephone game. So I just was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna send texts and or tell people in person if I get an opportunity and let them know that, and then just make a video. So essentially that's what I did. And to answer that question, I think it was of Cheryl's, nobody's given me flack to my face that I'm quietly trans, but basically similar to, I think, what Johnny said. It's like, I'm all these things, and then oh yeah, by the way, the world saw me for the first 35 years in the opposite gender. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that story. It's not something that I feel like I have to have tattooed on my face or constantly wear trans related merch or what have you, but not because I'm ashamed or embarrassed. Most of the time I'm not afraid for my safety either. But I want people to get to know me and everything about me. And then when I'm close with them, I could tell them on my terms and when I'm ready to tell them. So yeah, I just was like, screw it. It's Pride Month. I'm gonna make a video, so that's what I did. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. Take me off the big screen, please.
Yeah, take me off the big screen. It's kind of intimidating to be like, you're here, go. Yeah.
One thing I do have to say, Cameron, when you did that video, the best thing I also like about that video is what you did in the description bar to have others go and see that other video.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen many videos of that before, but that one is the top one that you gave as an example. Yeah. I applaud you for that, because you really it took some steps for you to do that. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to explain anything to anyone, but again, you did handle that very well, and I was touched real hard by it, because it was heartbreaking to see you go through that and hear about it.
I appreciate
it. The thing that you did to come back and really take your step for that. So I apologize.
I appreciate that. You know, it really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, on one hand, I am sensitive, but on the other hand, I have like pretty thick skin. And so it's like, I think I said in my video, if you're cool with me, great. If you're not, kick rocks. Because like life is too short for me to be worried about like the small group of people who are transphobic or homophobic or racist. And I'm just kind of like, I don't need you in my life.
And like I was telling Dawn and Mary after that we had our one of our shows, and I said, did you see what kind of bullying that you had to deal with? And so I told them about the video, because that was bullying, and that's a form of bullying, and that's not right. You should not have to go through that.
Yeah.
No one.
So yeah, people out there who may know or have friends or family or whatever who are LGBT, understand this. This is their journey. You are not responsible to pull them out of the closet, bring them out to other people, make everybody else aware of who they are. This is their journey.
Exactly.
So respect that. The kindest thing you can do for these people is give them support privately, love them, help them with anything they need, and let them tell their own story.
And
very powerful, Dawn.
And don't be one of those people like me. I just keep going back to me, because I mean, I know how I was. Okay. I was so fearful in my religious ways of saving my friends. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody needs to find their own path in every situation. You know, don't beat anything over nobody's head. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, even for the Bible believers out there, and I'm not that religious either, I'm just going to put this in your head, because if you believe in the Bible, you know what it says. If you speak upon something one time, you know what I'm saying, you can't beat nobody's head. Like, you cannot change anybody's mind. It's up to them to change their mind. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know. I just want to throw that out there too, because I used to be that man. You can't. You know, the Bible says, mm-hmm. But
I'm going to talk a minute, being you talking about that. I'm going to give a little statement that I usually tell someone who is trying to judge me. I always tell them, please collect the stones in your backyard before you come throwing them in mine. Mm-hmm. Because I have enough to deal with. I don't need your pity party, and I don't need your questions and trying to beat me down, because guess what? There's only one way up. I have one judge, and it's not you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ignorance is something, man. It took a shovel for me to get out a lot of my ignorance. You know?
And I think it's just like fear, because personally, my sisters and I are going through a lot of deconstructing with religious things that we had growing up. I'm just going to say it. I know some family members might see this, and I guess I don't really care, because that was the backbone of a lot of our childhood, and that it was through our deconstruction, we had to learn about people that weren't like us and were different. And through that, through getting to know them and then actually being friends with these people, it's like, you know, it really does make a difference when you force yourself to think outside of what this constraint you're taught throughout life. So,
yeah. And you just never know what someone's going through, regardless if they've come out or not, because of the fact that some people don't have someone to talk to. And with this is opening up, because I have had people come talk to me about it. Mm-hmm. And I can tell them, what you tell me, it stays with me. Because of the fact you come to me in confidentiality, it's going to stay there. But I only can tell you what I had through my experience and help you through it in some way or fashion. Because yes, I do believe in, do my prayers. I believe in the Bible and things like that. But this is who I am. You know, love me or hate me, it doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to be in my circle, but I guarantee I would welcome you in my circle.
Yeah.
Because I give a lot of love and respect to a lot of people. And that's what everybody needs to do in this time of what we're going through. You know, we all need somebody to turn to sometimes.
Definitely. That's so true.
People who are straight don't realize is that how many times we have to make the decision almost every day whether or not we're going to admit to who we are, and is it safe?
Yeah. Is it safe to come out to this person?
I still have to do it. We've been together 19 years. I can pass for a straight woman, no problem. And unless I have really short hair, and then I get called sir, and then I'm like,
I can pass as a straight woman's friend.
I know. But for a lot of people, I mean, you go to the store and somebody's, you know, the person working the register is like, so, you know, oh, are you getting this for your husband? Well, no. I'm buying this for my wife.
That's assumed, you know, people.
Automatic,
But there's like almost every week there's a lot of us that have to make that decision. Is this a safe place to say that I have a wife
or a husband or, you know, or whatever, or just a spouse?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they may misgender your spouse.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Just like when Robert and I go out to eat dinner somewhere, one of the first questions when they come is just check separate or together. We got each other together.
Right.
But you get used to it because there's so many
people.
Will the ladies be joining you? No.
Every time we go into how many in your party?
Two.
Just us two. You know, you gotta,
yeah. So it's just, and people don't have to think. If you're straight, you don't have to think about that because it's assumed
societal norms
that you're male or female.
Yeah.
And it's assumed that you're married to someone of the opposite sex. So, yeah, it's constant.
There's a lot of assumption going on out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to happen.
Well,
and again,
looking at it from their
what's good about this type of program here where we open the doors and open the eyes to other people because of the fact there's maybe some people in here in our community that are afraid to come out or afraid to talk about it. But just know that you will be loved by this community of those who open their arms and their hearts to those, no matter who you are or where you came from.
Yeah, I guess this panel just know that, you know, we're safe people for anybody that needs to hear that.
Yeah. And of course, everybody also needs to realize, like, for example, when I lived in New Orleans, to me, it was still scary to go into the quarter because there was a lot of hate crime going on. They're still having that problem today. But again, I don't go out at certain times of the night in certain areas of a city because you need to protect yourself. Granted, you might be able to be strong enough to do it, but you just never know. So the idea of it is to always remember your surroundings, always look at where you're at, but always don't let your guard down at all.
That's the fun of being a woman 24/7 for me.
I was going to say, well, there you go.
I still, even though I'm not 20 anymore, and a lot. Shut up.
She's like, what?
Dinner.
Right.
I still, if I'm walking in a parking lot, you know, a big parking lot at night, like I had to make a quick run, I'm grabbing my car keys. I have them ready.
It's funny because oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were.
There's always, because I'm a female, there's always that risk.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean,
that I'm going to get mugged or something.
Cameron, you might be able to speak to both those perspectives.
Yeah, I was going to say, when it comes to realizing, you know, discovering my gender, it's interesting because in my 20s and even early 30s, before I took hormones, I would go anywhere by myself. I wasn't scared of anyone. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, yeah, because like even if I looked like a female in my brain, I was just like this tough little guy, you know? Nobody's going to mess with me. And if they do, like, I'm scrappy. But also just that experience of like, I was gay. Like, the world perceived me, and I thought to myself I was female with my wife all those years. And then when I transitioned, it was like, holy crap. Like the world's gonna see us as a straight couple. They're gonna they're gonna see us as a heterosexual couple, which is just weird in the sense that we always had those insecurities, like you, Dawn and Mary, and similar to you and your husband Johnny. Like of, okay, we're gonna hold hands when we go into this restaurant, or okay, there's not just like white cisgender heterosexual people in this city. I see other folks, so maybe we can hold hands here. And now it's just like, I don't have to think about it. We can just hold hands.
And no one's gonna
say anything about it.
But if we go somewhere, like if we go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's, actually prefer Lowe's, and it's me and my wife, and she maybe takes a lead asking about, I don't know, what do you look for at Lowe's? Carpet sample. Let's say we're gonna change carpet or something. If it's a dude, he will always, even if she asks the question, he'll look at me to like tell me the information. But I'll call him on that crap and be like, why are you looking at me, bud? Like, she's the one picking the carpet. Like, talk to her, and then I walk away. Because
they make the joke, oh, she's the boss, huh?
Yeah,
she wears the pants in the family, huh?
Yeah. It's just
I've heard it all. Yeah, you hear it all.
We're the pants in the family, dude. What?
Here's a question never to ask a lesbian couple.
Oh yeah,
who's the man? Who's the woman?
I hate.
Oh my Lord Jesus.
Oh yeah, family member.
Family member. Now, given that she was drinking at the time, so I can understand maybe she was a little more.
I think it gave her liquid courage.
Liquid courage.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was the question. This is like 15 years ago.
Right, but still, my answer would be none of your business.
Yeah, well, it was neither of us. That's the point.
I let the diplomat take the. But her issue, she sat between us. We could have smushed her like a bug.
Yeah. Basically, I said neither of us. That's the point. But a lot of people are locked into that male-female role. Yeah. You know, there has to be a male, there has to be a female in a relationship.
Or they're used to seeing like a lesbian who looks very butch.
Right.
And someone who's more feminine.
Yeah. And so they immediately stereotype them as that one's more male and that one's more female.
Gender identity is so much deeper than people think. It's not, you just don't click into a slot. You know, you can be multifaceted and you can be multi-talented in different things and not follow those norms.
Yeah.
When you educate yourself on different cultures and religions, you realize it's such a Western thing, because a lot of native cultures did not have gender norms or certain criterion or anything like that. And when you like do the research and educate yourself on some of that stuff, it's really interesting how it's evolved to how it is now.
Yep.
Amazing. And what I think the world needs more is, in terms of toxic masculinity at least, is guys being afraid not to call out their buddies. And I'm going to give an example of recently when I saw that happen, and it's not throwing shade at Lonnie from Shed Flips. It's just me bringing up the conversation on, what is it called? Guys Without Jobs. Yeah, that's their podcast. And he made a comment about shaking a woman's hand. And I loved it that John, the Cincinnati picker, just basically was like, dude, Lonnie, you sounded kind of sexist. And that's what dudes need to be able to tell their buddy is like, there's no such thing as a woman handshake. You know, Lonnie, of course, was like trying to sidestep and like get himself out of that. But when it comes down to it, it's just these societal norms about that a man has a tough, firm handshake and a woman's handshake is dainty and soft or what have you. And I just love that John was like, well, it sounds kind of sexist to me, Lonnie. So shout out to John and
shout out to Cincinnati picker.
Yeah, and I'm not throwing shade at Lonnie. It's just that was just his observation. But
I really like the comment he left you in that video too. He really stepped up forward and said a good comment about you in that video.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Just with the comment when she was talking about like the safety, like I never understood when y'all talk about safety until like the year before last. We went, me and one of my best friends, we went to Pride in Atlanta, and this was like literally right after that. I was about to say Oklahoma, but Miami.
Oh, you're talking about the Pulse, the restaurant, the bar Pulse.
Yeah. So we were literally like walking. I think just like after it was like at nighttime. The parade didn't happen and everything. We were just walking downtown, and I don't know why, guys. Like the thought hit me, and I was like, I looked at my friend. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't know, but I was like, you know what, man? It's sad that the thought in my mind right now, because it just came out of the blue, was like, yo, is it really safe to be here? Like, for me as a straight man, you know what I'm saying? As a straight man, I can only imagine, again, if I had that thought, what y'all have to go through, maybe not on a regular basis, but every so often. I know we're thinkers, we're natural thinkers. So it has to cross your mind, like the dangers that's really out there. People are really crazy and people really don't like you just because of you. Like me as a black man, only reason I can say I get it a little bit is because people don't like us either. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's crazy.
Well, I understand what you're saying, because for me in New Orleans, we had our church participate in the gay pride every year. And we would have the big old fair in the center of town. And at 4:00, they would do the parade. I only did it twice because of and I don't down anybody who wants to protest. Don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. I have been through and seen a lot in my life that I will not put myself in a protest after seeing what's been going on, much less all the shootings, all the fires, the things that people have been going through, and bringing this being available for us to be able to say today we're gay. But again, to the point of, do you want to put yourself in that predicament, not knowing if there's somebody out there who's going to have a bad day and start shooting everybody? And so for me, that's one of the reasons why after doing it twice, that was enough. I had enough of it, but I wasn't going to put myself in there, because you always have that weird feeling, is it going to happen today? Yeah. And so we still have that background of thoughts in our mind, at least for me anyway, because I cannot bring myself to do a protest, and I don't bring myself to do the gay pride anymore, because I've seen too many things happen. So we still have to be cautious, but also be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in that situation where we were just being ourselves, and she drove a float that the gay community.
Yeah, it was
the first one we did. It's called Blossom Time here.
Yeah,
and basically
they have kings and queens from high schools and local communities.
Yeah, it's
and
a big pageant thing, and it gets a big parade. It's been going on for decades.
And we had just kind of got our LGBT center up and running, and we wanted to do a float. So we built a float. And
the theme was American Pride.
It was a big flag.
It's a 3-dimensional flag on a small trailer.
It was a small trailer, and I had to drive a small, basically
garden
tractor with a box around it. It was,
red, white, and blue.
It was small community stuff, but we were getting death threats, and they had the FBI here, because there were people were saying, because it's our communities, the two communities are separated by a bridge. Once you go over that bridge, they were gonna basically riot.
Well, there was people in the black community, that said they were going to protest by blocking the bridge.
Yeah.
So so she was really upbeat.
I guess
her mom called her oldest grandson and said, "You need to be there."
It was doing it for the cause, I mean,
So he showed up and was basically her bodyguard until she had to go and get into the parade route.
But I guess the point of that is none of the other floats had to worry about that.
Right.
Nobody else had to worry about that.
We had security on the
Nobody
street.
else had the FBI guarding your float while you waited.
And driving in a golf cart while we were going down. And the way people protested is that they turned their back on the float
as the float went by.
And I know this because I walked the whole route because I was videotaping it. And
it's crazy.
In some spots you got standing ovations.
Some did. Yeah, we got standing ovations. Some people turned their back. Now the float was an American flag. That was it.
The only thing gay about it was that the rainbow streamers were on the flagpole coming down. And then they told us that the next year we couldn't have anything like that because it was too political.
Yeah.
So being gay is political.
Sorry.
This was 15 years ago, but still at the time it was but to the credit of the committee for the parade, they field a lot of hate calls.
The newspaper was getting just tons of, letters to the editor where it's nasty. Some people even threatened and signed their name, which is stupid if you ask me.
They got phone calls from local law enforcement.
They got phone calls.
And that's, and even though you don't see it as much today, although you do in some cases, it's still out there. There's still people that hate us for just being us. All of us. Everybody on the panel. So
I agree with that, because even when I first started doing YouTube and I started doing my lives, there was an individual who came in my chat and could not believe when I kept saying in the chat that when somebody said, who's that? And then someone, I'm not going to say the names because the channel was on, said, yeah, that's Johnny's husband, Robert. That was the end of that. I got red, whatever you want to call it, the right act, and stopped coming to my channel. So I said, you know what? That means you weren't meant to be here.
Yeah.
And here it goes a couple of months later. And now it's, hey, how you doing? Didn't want to announce me, a little acknowledge me or anything. But you know what? I still kept at it. Hey, I'm a better person. Hey, hello, how you doing? You don't answer, that's fine. But guess what? I'm not going to stop. You know, you're going to know who I am, not who you think I am.
That's the thing. You just got to keep being yourself.
Yeah,
and
you got to. Because there's going to be people that are going to be, excuse my French, but ignorant about the whole thing. And then living in that tunnel vision thing. Then once they get to know you, that's a whole different story.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
And somebody said in the chat that they've asked, they know now, looking back at their life, they've asked stupid questions to like a gay cousin and stuff.
Yeah.
That was,
And we've all done it. We've all done it. You know, it's just,
so there are stupid questions.
There are stupid questions.
Okay.
There's questions you probably shouldn't, like we were talking about, like asking
about,
personal questions that the person may not be ready to answer.
Yeah, true.
And, you know, I think back to my college days, I didn't have a lot of exposure to people of color when I was growing up. Until I worked at the produce plant, and then I met a lot of Mexicans and Hispanics and stuff. And like once I got to college, that was like my major exposure to people, to Black Americans, African Americans, and people from like Jamaica and Bahamas. And I know I asked stupid questions.
I was just saying, do you know any questions that you asked?
I can't.
And I know I asked.
But yeah, there's.
I want to make a list now of stupid questions, I guess.
But you live and learn.
But there wasn't Google back then, so they can't.
I did not have the internet.
Google. There's no Google.
In my defense, I did not have the internet.
Google was not free back then.
I had interlibrary loans.
Yeah,
not in the
you got mail. Yeah, you don't hear that.
I'm that old.
It's like, where in the card catalog do you look up, you know?
Right.
Is it in the encyclopedia? Yeah, you had to think about encyclopedias back then.
Yeah, and they didn't have, they published once a year. They didn't have anything on this.
And they were pretty lily white anyway.
Yeah, they were very.
Perspective, you know, I look back on the histories classes I took, and it was like, no, there's very.
I have to say, there's some great comments in the chat, and everybody seems to be, you know, like Google, ask Google. Yeah, Cameron made that comment. You know, if you have any questions, and then you have somebody in your family who is in that lifestyle or in the LGBTQ plus community, then if you feel like you have other questions, ask. But the only thing I can tell you is none of your business.
I had feeling dreams.
You know, and I like doing something like that's why we do this, because we don't mind being asked those questions. And
we'll tell you if it's a question you probably shouldn't ask anybody else, we'll tell you that too.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll tell you as nicely as we can. And the thing is I've lost. I say lost. They still exist, but my family pretty much just went.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. And
that happens.
And I lost friends. I lost friends that I had for a very long time because, well, it was against their religion.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know that, yeah, it's not easy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In my case, when I told my family, my own sister called my godfather, which was our aunt. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that came out of my mouth, because I'm a godfather to their son. And the first thing she did was when she found out, she calls him up, hey, did you hear Johnny's gay? You better take your son, get your son tested. He may have molested your child. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know, that's just
like
totally
before, but now you will.
Right, but the thing about it is, then it's in I finally experienced it. So I know how other people may be feeling it when they do come out because of the fact that their own flesh and blood. You know? You're always friends with them. They need help, you give them help. They need this, they need that, you're there for them. But when that happens, again, you are taking a big step doing it. But again, you need to be happy with who you are, not worrying about who others want you to be. And so, yeah, for me to this day, they don't talk to me. They didn't want me to have anything to do with their children. So when it comes to going to a family funeral or wedding, well, where you been? Why you don't contact us? Well, you're the one that said you don't want to have nothing to do with me because I'm gay.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to know me.
The phone works
Just
both ways.
thank you.
Emails work both ways.
Thank you. Facebook too. You can always post on Facebook. So I don't look at it anymore like that because it's their loss, and that's what I looked at it from the beginning. I make my own friends and family along the way, and for those who know who I am, the way I am, and I'll give you the shirt off my back if you needed it.
It always gets me because it's like, okay, here I was okay to you as your niece and cousin,
and now something,
and all the parties and the money and the gifts.
I bring her home to a family thing, and suddenly I'm not okay.
Yeah. That's the one thing.
And I'm you're going to know her.
Right, exactly. That's the sad thing about it.
I'm a horrible person, really.
But now I think the doors have been opened more, that others are more accepting of it. But you still have those who are still blinded.
Yeah, and you're still going to have that. There's still going to be families that just disown you.
Yeah. So that's why I put that out there, because if anybody ever wanted to contact us and talk to us about it, I've got experience with that. So I can speak to the whole religious thing because that's all my upbringing was. Until after I graduated from college, all my education was a Christian background.
Which is terrifying to me, but okay.
Yeah, but you still live with me.
I do.
I know.
Well,
what's up with that?
We're making the steps. We're taking the journey to detox her, and it's working. So
it does take a while, but
there's toxic masculinity and toxic Christianity as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's true.
Toxic religion.
So I have a question for Cameron. Is things getting a little bit better for you now since you did that video?
I'm looking up.
Cameron?
Sure. There was nothing wrong. I guess I don't understand the question. Like, nobody.
Well, I mean, the hate you had at the beginning with somebody who outed you, is that where you already past that now and it's all okay for you now?
Yeah.
That was tough for you. And I was heartbroken for you.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. I'm trying not to sound like an insensitive jerk. When I found out that somebody outed me or whatever, I was just like, no, that person, and then that's that. So I'm not gonna I'm not holding a grudge other than I'm done with that person. Like, we're not talking to that person and moving on, because those who, like I said, support me and are cool like all of y'all, awesome. And so
that's good to hear.
So yeah, I mean, I appreciate and understand what you mean by that's a form of bullying. Like, you're probably right. I didn't feel bullied. I just felt outed when I wasn't ready to be, and that's why I made the video to do it myself. And so I guess I do feel better in the sense of just it's just out there.
And the weight was off your shoulders, so to say. Right.
Because before it was okay, I'm starting to get to know this person. All right, I'll probably come out to them eventually. They seem cool. Okay, I don't know about this person. So I was doing a lot of this I don't know who's safe and who I feel comfortable that I'll eventually come out to.
Mm-hmm. You were deciding who could have that piece of you.
Yeah. And then now it's just all right, well, I guess if they're going to find out eventually anyway from others, then I might as well just be the one to hey, guess what? It's true, kind of a deal. So, it's one of those things that, again, I'm not ashamed of, but it's not my main, probably 4.5, almost 5 years now when I first started taking testosterone, that was my main focus, right? Every little hair that came in and different physical changes. Oh, my voice sounds a little deeper today. All those things were exciting and it was all new. And now it's just every year my butt gets hairier. And, other than that,
thank you for that image.
Yeah, sorry. I think all trans people wish they could pick.
Oh, I love you, Cameron.
Okay, I want this as a trans man or trans woman. I'll take this, I'll take that. Ooh, I don't want that. But it doesn't work that way. It's just
you get the package.
You get it all.
Oh, yeah.
You don't throw a fit. I mean, this receding hairline, pretty soon I'll be bald.
Oh man.
Welcome to your manhood. Yeah, there you go.
I had an employee who worked for me, and it was male going to female. And the funny part about it, she was going through the testosterone and the pills and the surgery, but she didn't go to the final one. And every time someone would ask her a question and she would get pissed off because it was a stupid question, she would go to that deep voice, like, what do you think I am? You know, it's like they would run. It's like, whoa. Certain things you just don't ask people, you know, and she let them know it. And she was not afraid to put you in your place, you know, but if you had a good question, she would ask it, you know, answer it for you. So, yeah.
So Cameron, did anybody act funny towards you after you came out? Like your friend, the people that you wanted to, like, you know, you was like, you know what, I wanted to come out to them. I'm glad I did. But then after you did, they kind of like turned their back on you, or was just like, they pushed away?
Not that I know of.
Good.
Good.
Let
me know who they are.
I was just gonna say,
block them right now.
We're gonna fight.
I'm gonna go after these people.
You saw Chuck's comment?
Yeah,
Cameron's
that's
voice
pretty
is
funny.
deeper than mine.
All the comments,
We're
like,
so behind in the chat right
super
now.
fast mode. I see that people will stand for LGBTQ and be silent about racism and vice versa. That is so true.
So true, Cheryl.
Yeah, Cameron, you know what I mean?
One's more religious than the other, or vice versa.
I appreciate all the appreciate everybody. Cameron, you're absolutely right. He's always right most of the time.
No,
already checked it out. Thank you so much, Roman. Yeah. I said it. Oh, I just said that today. Okay, heard. Dante's black. I know, man.
Yeah, really. I'm leaving.
Come back.
You're what?
Come back. I'll cover up. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
Hola, nerd.
One of my best friends is black. I lost her 5 years ago to cancer. I miss her.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Blessings your way, definitely. I still see the intentions behind saying I don't see race because they just want everyone to get along, but it shuts down so many observations and conversations surrounding racial spirit. Facts. That's why
that was a really good way of saying that.
That is.
I hate when people
dropping that knowledge, man. Her Juneteenth post yesterday, I mean, that got me, man.
What color is that person?
Start asking people when they say they don't see colors, like, well, maybe you should go see the optometrist or something.
Really?
It's normal.
Because I understand the sentiment behind it. And I don't want Renee or Rob to feel like we're all.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to feel bad.
No, and I didn't say that to make them feel bad at all.
Yeah. I just want whomever says that, because I'm pretty sure I've said that in the past. And then when a black guy explained to me, like, so the issue with that is that we want you to see us. We're beautiful black people. Mm-hmm. You know, there's other people of color in the room. And they're like, that guy is an amazing Native American man, and this Asian. Well, like, it's important that we understand each other's differences and acknowledge them.
And just like the Native Americans, they the same way. You know, they have color, but they're a person. They have feelings. They have thoughts, just like everybody else.
Facts. Mm-hmm. I only see two colors, black and white. Purple, I guess, since I see purple.
All colors.
And I guess I see red too, I guess, and white. And this other color that's blue. I see all colors. What do you know? I guess I see it all.
Exactly.
You know, he's such a smart.
And for a guy, that's pretty good because men tend to be more colorblind than women. Yeah, so,
like, they do. Yeah, like that goes back to like caveman times. Women had more attention to detail, and men were more focused on movement.
And just like people talk about religion, you know, we all have to accept it sometimes because there are some people who just don't accept anything but their religion.
Yeah.
But for us, as a Christian, I am a Christian, rebaptized as a Christian. I was raised Catholic, but it was more of a Sunday, holiday, Christmas, Easter kind of thing. And I was about eating goat catechism and things like that.
Casual Catholic, what my old coworker used to call it.
And so,
casual Catholic.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I grew up and then I decided to get rebaptized, I got rebaptized in non-denomination, but I am a Christian. I believe in my rights. I also, you know, have my beliefs. When I first wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is put my feet on the floor. Thank God I have another day to live and live until its fullest. Mm-hmm. When I go to rest my head, thank you for a great day. You know, you got to do that kind of stuff, good or bad.
Yeah. Right.
But that's
Butterfly Hustles. Trying to catch up with the chat, guys. Sorry.
That's okay.
Hey, you know, Jesus said, "Love everybody." Come on.
That's right.
But that's also why we say we don't
agree with that. Like
religion or politics,
right?
I do agree with the Nicety Seller where she said that it was Cameron's personal business, had nothing to do with reselling. Like I
exactly.
You know.
So there are people who are information brokers, basically, is what I call them, and they once they know something, they want to make sure that somebody else knows that they know. And it's currency for them to have this information and share it with other people. And they're always going to be there. They're always going to be out there.
It feeds their ego.
Yep. So the best thing you can do is be cautious about who you share your information with. and understand that it could reach other people depending on who these people are. So, and that's a shame, but they're out there, and they will, once they know something about you, they're gonna make sure other people know. It's like what they
can't help it.
Yeah,
it's like they need that.
Yeah,
I told my wife
it makes them important.
Yeah, I said to my wife, I said, the reseller community is actually like most communities, whether it's your work community or your family or your friends. And it's like a telenovela, like it's like a soap opera. And it's like, oh my gosh, Dante and Katie, did you know they were together? Oh, Don and Mary, they're lesbians. Oh my
Wait, y'all
God.
together?
What? Wait,
You know Don is gay? Holy crap. Like, what? Cameron, what?
Oh, it's like being in high school again sometimes.
I know.
Gotta love it. Never getting away from it.
Junior high.
Yes, people out here thinking they have the right to what's going on in people's bedrooms. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's so true.
It's true. That's sad.
My coming out was easy because my family is super religious, but unsupportive as hell in all aspects. I did struggle with my own Christianity, though. Still do.
Right.
I feel you, Cheryl.
Yeah, really.
Hello, Simply Dana.
Hey, Simply Dana.
Hello, Dana.
How are you?
I'm talking to Cheryl. Bible says not to judge others, lest you be judged, and love your brothers.
Yep.
The Bible says love God and love one another. For me, that means everyone. Facts. Hey, love, have you put in for October to go to Greenville? Have your flight covered? Excited? Hey.
Wow.
And for real, I don't know.
Greenville, Michigan?
No.
Greenville, South Carolina, where the convention is going to be.
There you go.
October 13th.
October.
When I was growing up in former Soviet Union, I was picked on because I'm a Jewish from my religion, and I had to constantly fight in school because it was tough to remember those days. And you've been beating them all up too. Y'all see how big Roman is? He was beating them all up.
I saw him on the boat.
Hopefully take.
Yeah, I know you took about 5 or 6 of them. I know that.
I didn't see him in person, but I saw his videos, and that's one you don't want to reach out and
yeah, but we're Roman big, man. Fan of your channel.
Yep.
Still waiting to see if I can get the time off. So
Ella and Primal must be coming together.
What's going on? Blood, sweat, and cell. Leroy, thank you so much for joining us. I want to do Vegas, and I'll always love you guys. Hello. Anytime, pick your.
Hey, Backroad Bitter.
What's going on? What's going on, Joe?
Hey, Chuck.
What's going on, Philly Picker? Joe is in the house.
Are we for 2 hours? Sorry to interrupt. Just wondering.
Yeah, we're about 3:45. I'll do my nice little rundown. Say bye to everybody. Let y'all get your little.
So I have time to pee.
Again. Tell everybody.
The bathroom. Why am I asking? I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
You said you had to go get a soda.
Come back soon.
It's a room with a toilet in it.
Say you had to go get a pop.
A soda.
Cameron.
It's my favorite place to live because
blatant honesty out of Cameron.
Feels like I'm caught up.
I think so. I think a lot of it was back.
But if I said was fighting with someone else every week, yeah, I'm pretty much caught up.
Oh man.
May I ask what your pronouns are, Cameron? Well, he's gone.
I would say he, him. I think he identifies as
him. I say bro and stuff. He don't get.
Yeah.
Dude. I think dude.
He says dude a lot.
Nothing in the front arm, knife strike to the throat, or first step to the kid can't take care of. Facts.
Dang, that was so
serious.
Guys, I'm glad you're in the community. Keep up. Thank you so much, Leroy.
Thanks, Leroy.
Thank you, Leroy.
Well, that being a reseller, it's a pretty lonely, antisocial kind of job. I was wondering if you feel like LGBTQ has been easier or harder as a reseller versus another profession. Ooh, good question.
That is a very good question.
It depends on your workplace. I mean, it does depend on your workplace.
I'm loving it.
My former work, I mean, yeah, obviously we can be who we are right now in the reseller community because we're that way. I mean, we're just not going to take crap from people. But if you're working for a place that has an employee resource group, that helps, but they have to be accepting in the workplace. So we're lucky our former workplace was accepting, and they had resource groups for, Black, new
there's an Asian American
group, there was an LGBT group, there was what do I want to say, young professionals, so it'd be like new people coming in. So but yeah, other places, if you're working for Bob's Burgers or whatever, you don't know what they're they have to have some kind of equal. What do I want to say?
I'd say Chick-fil-A would be
Chick-fil-A is not a
hard place to come out in.
Yeah. There are places
that are really LGBT.
And
It'd be their pleasure.
what's that other craft place that closes down on Sundays the same way?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby
Yeah.
Lobby.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby doesn't cover a lot of women's healthcare needs either, birth control, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, they're jerks.
And they base that on a biblical.
Hobby Lobby.
They're basing that on their biblical beliefs. So
on their
Yeah.
paradigms.
And they're a private owned
So-
company, so they can get away with it.
I kind of, since I've been out of the workforce for a little bit longer than Dawn has, I can have social anxiety issues sometimes. And so for me, this whole lonely and antisocial thing is a positive.
Yeah, she loved the whole lockdown for COVID. She loved it. She was born for
I was
this.
like,
She trained for this all her life.
I know. I was one of those people that said I trained this for this all my life.
Yeah.
And I tended, in my younger days, I could be extroverted and introverted. I kind of bordered. If I was a lot extrovert, and I had extroverted jobs, waitressing, bartending, things like that. So, but I would have to go home and then just kind of chill.
Decompress, yes.
So
You're on, and then
so this is nice. YouTube is nice because I can still be a little bit extroverted and stuff, and I can talk to people, and I can talk about things that are important to me.
You
and
can do
then
that too. You can just do that.
And then I can hide. And then I can go.
But hey, there's
chill in my house or gardens or something.
So Cameron, there was a question previous: is pronouns? Which do you prefer? There was a pronoun question
For you.
Yeah.
for you, Cameron.
He, him,
What my pronouns are?
Yeah.
He, him.
That's what
And
we
I
thought.
will say that a term that is outdated that I learned myself because I used to say preferred pronouns, but somebody educated me, and so I like to pass on the education that it's not so much somebody's preferred pronouns, it's their pronouns. So if my pronouns are he, him, it's not because I prefer he, him over they, them, or obviously I'm not going to use my former pronouns, but it's, preference is more like, do you want cream or sugar in your coffee?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one day you might, one day
Without
you might not.
Yeah.
But
You need to
for-
without it. But
Yeah,
you
you
can do
yeah,
without that.
yeah. But it's more like, my name's Cameron, my pronouns are he, him. It's not so much a preference.
That's a good point.
But I understand why people, especially with trans folks who are maybe early in their transition or decide not to take hormones at all, because that might be their journey, that folks might say, oh, which pronouns do you prefer? Because to the person viewing them, they're like, I don't know how to read you in terms of your gender, so I'm asking you what pronouns you prefer. But I guess a little bit more respectful thing is just to flat out ask, or just introduce yourself, like, hey, my name's Tae, my name's Dante, my pronouns are he, him, and that opens the door for the person to be, oh, I'm Maria, my pronouns are they, them, or whatever.
Right.
True.
Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot.
I'm the same way.
Italian in your background?
It's okay.
And I want to go back to that question that was asked about the workplace. For me, I have to say I have been blessed. Even though I worked in the workforce all my life before 2005, and then I went on to being in my own business, in business for myself, I have to say I've been blessed that no matter where I worked, everybody didn't care. In the end, now that I'm working for myself, I find even our neighbors have been really embracing and wanting to spend time with us and go to barbecues and birthday parties and things like that. And that's a great thing for us because we're still new to this area. I'm still figuring out things here and there. But in our neighborhood, at least everybody is very comfortable with us and very friendly. So I don't have to say that for me, I would have to say it's not as much as worrying about it being part of my workplace. Because then again, I work for myself. I've been doing it since 2005. But again, when I worked for someone else, I didn't have that problem or issue. So I was pretty okay with it and my workplace. Now, again, there were some people who, of course, you get the sexual innuendos and things like that. Well, you have to put your foot down and say, look, dude, I'm not interested in you. Don't bring that to me. I am who I am.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you're straight. It don't matter to me because I don't have nothing to do with you and just working with you. Work together as coworkers, and that's it. Some people do go overboard sometimes, but that's one thing I do not miss in the workforce.
Yeah, it's interesting how folks will think, if you're a man and you identify as gay or bisexual, even for that matter, or pansexual, but not to confuse anybody too much, if they're also a dude, there's automatically the assumption that like, oh, I want him to know that I'm not into him, and that gay guy might be like, bro, I'm not into you. Like, don't assume. It's just like in the heterosexual world, if you meet your neighbor and you're a guy and she's a woman, just because you say hi, she shouldn't assume that like you're into her.
She wants
that.
Right.
What's that?
She wants me.
She wants me. Okay, so some people, I guess,
She
do.
way. She wants me. Oh, she breathed. She wants
breathed. Me. She blinked.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah.
That's what happened between us.
She liked.
I like.
And they freeze.
I commented.
There you
go. This is a great group. I agree.
Thank you, Lauren.
He had a great question. I'm just gonna get straight to the question, but
yeah.
So there we go. I'm glad to have so many. Yes, I'm gonna have to read this part. Since you're here, I wonder what your thoughts on this. I'm comfortable and happy with who I am. I don't necessarily hide who I am, but I don't make waves to bring attention to being trans. I find myself, though, fearful for the future of my business and ability to source and form business relationships due to being trans, let alone Black.
Yeah.
You have any opinions about maybe building business
made
relationships?
a good point in the chat about intersectionality. Like,
yeah, I mean, in terms of like it being Pride Month and where that came from, it's actually like a trans Black woman of color, who Marsha P. Johnson allegedly. Yeah. There's a lot of theories about who threw that first brick, but essentially, you know, there were riots and they just weren't going to stand for it anymore. But to answer your question, Amari, I mean, I can't. I mean, I could give advice, but my thought is, if those folks don't want to do business with you or don't want to shop at your eBay store or whatever, then that's their loss. You know, they could be making money from you. And if they find out that you're trans and therefore don't want to do business with you, then I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do business with them if I knew that that was going to hinder our relationship anyway. But I might be a little too like black and white in that sense, because I'm just like, oh, you're not down with me and my people.
Your things are all black and white.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, for me, I used to eat at Chick-fil-A. I used to go to Hobby Lobby. Now that all that started coming out, I completely stopped immediately, because to me, when all that started taking for a turn, I just stopped completely. I didn't even go anymore to any of those places. I'm not going to support somebody who has those kind of thoughts against everyone. You know, that's not right. That was just me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just saying, speak to the situation where coming out could impact your business. Every community is different. Every neighborhood's different. Every business atmosphere is different as far as, you know, the town you're in. Say you're in a southern white bread, you know, God and guns country town or area. You might not be safe coming out. You might not, you know, be able to keep your business open coming out. It sucks. But you know, you gotta protect yourself. You know, you don't want to bring yourself out there loud and proud and have someone, you know, take you out. So it's still there, and it's a reasonable concern to have.
Right.
Protect yourself. Do what you have to do to protect yourself.
Yeah, because we're not going to judge you for that.
And find people that you can be out with is the best.
You basically just described the little town I live in, Dawn. Very small town, very like guns, pro guns. Not everybody's right wing, but many of them are. And we have a sign in our yard that is like, love is love, Black Lives Matter, science is real. One of those that has multiple sayings.
I love that sign.
Yeah. This lady, we had a yard sale like a month ago, literally drove up, white lady, rolls down her window and screams.
Name's Karen. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. She just screamed to my wife. I'm glad I wasn't out there because I would have acted a fool. But she yelled, "All lives matter," and then drove off. And I was like, for some reason, that doesn't surprise me in this town. But also, really, like, you really have to go out of your way because you have so much hatred in your heart to scream about why you think you're important, as if the world doesn't already know that as a white person Anyway,
Right.
sorry, go off on a tangent.
We're not even going to go into, unconscious bias and privilege.
Right.
We better not.
I was going to say, Dante, you got that long.
A lot of preaching for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have time for it. I understand some questions might be offensive, but it's also important to make it okay for people to ask stupid questions, though. But ignorance is what breeds hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's graceful ways to politely say, I think for sure you shouldn't just be like, that's a stupid question, don't ask me, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think there's graceful, nice ways, especially if it's like your family. If you think that their question is genuine and they really are just trying to be supportive, but if they're just being
there's common sense stupid and just ignorant stupid. I think there's two, and most people know the difference. Some people are just trying to be smart asses.
Right. And I think when you ask a very personal question about like, who's the man, who's the woman, to me that interprets as how do you two have,
invasion,
sex and all things like that. And that's invasive. Like I would be livid if someone asked Tae and I a personal question about that. You know what I mean? You wouldn't ask anybody, any couple that. Like that's
if you wouldn't approach
we keep him locked up in the closet.
Ooh, what? No.
Yeah, if you wouldn't approach a heterosexual couple about it,
right,
why would you feel comfortable asking an alternate couple about it?
Right.
Like that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Ask Google questions. Yeah.
Because I felt badly that I'm saying to Cheryl, like, I think in my opinion, you should ask Google. What I mean is if it's not somebody that you're close with and they've essentially opened the door. Like if I, as a trans dude, and I'm hanging out with Dawn and Mary and I mention and I start talking about my surgeries or whatever, well, I've pretty much opened the door and given them the hint and the green light, if you will, to like ask more questions if, and they would know, hopefully, that like, I would gracefully, tactfully say, okay, that's where it kind of crossed the line. And here's why that's a question to ask Google. And hopefully they wouldn't take offense to that. So,
but then on the other hand, if you meet someone who's trans, it is not proper to ask them if they've had surgeries.
No.
Correct.
It's just, and
because you wouldn't ask a man, I wouldn't like just ask a strange man I've never met before, have you been circumcised?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, why? I can't ask that question anymore.
I told you that,
right?
Stop asking guys if they're circumcised. It's not nice.
You want to find out.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna sleep with the person, or you think you might, then you've crossed that line of asking questions and saying like, hey, this is kind of what I'm wondering about because I'm really sexually attracted to you, and it might go to that. But otherwise, it's just rude.
And there's a line you're going to cross, and if you feel like you're going to cross it, don't ask it.
Right. Yeah.
What's going on, cheap fine gold mine? Amy Corbin in the house. Hope y'all are doing okay.
What's up, guys?
Hello, welcome everybody. You bed. I got that Cameron. Hey, Leroy. I can't stay. I don't care if you love what color you are, but if you have 7 eyes. Look.
Chuck.
Just read Taffy's comment.
If you got 7 eyes, I'm gonna be a little weary of you. I'm not gonna lie. If you come up around me and you got 7 eyes, I'm gonna ask some questions. Where are you from? That's the first.
Which ones are looking at? Which ones to look at?
Yeah, for real.
Why are you looking like a spider?
Like I bet you get all the profit. You can scan real fast, can't you?
If they have that many eyes,
I apologize. I'm sensitive to 7 eye people.
They're probably from Idaho.
Oh man.
Yeah, Cheryl brought up a good point. You're part of a community, but it doesn't make us experts. We're just giving you our experiences and what we know
from our life. Yeah, from our,
because we're wise old ladies. So there you go.
Wow.
Well, and then again, everybody's story is going to be different because everyone has gone through it differently. Yeah. Again, we still come out at the end the same as we were, regardless of who we are, whether we're reselling on any platforms, it doesn't matter. We are still going through our own ways and dealing with things that someone else may not have.
Yeah.
But that's why I always offer, if anybody wants to talk, I'm always there to talk with someone. Everything that's kept talk to me, it stays with me. And that's because I want to feel that I can at least not give that person advice, but give them ideas of things that I've been through.
Yeah.
How I handled that situation.
Yeah.
And it may not be the right way, but that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
If I learned something new,
like you Google something.
No, but they're like, Cameron says something, about being trans, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'll take what he said, and then I'll go and Google it because it's easier than the library now.
True.
Yeah.
And I'll try to educate myself further.
Right. And then if the situation pops up where you can share that knowledge, then you will.
Knowing
one of the things I want to say about that too is I know everybody watches the news. When Cher's son came on, and the daughter went to a male sex change, that was no big deal. Look at the Kardashians. You see it in the news every day, so it's not like something that you are shocked about. It's just that you may now know someone in the community that brightens up that door for you to look at that person as a person, not as what they are in their life, regardless of what it is.
And some people can be very, what's the word I want to use without offending anyone? Just loud and proud and very much out there. And so sometimes that turns people off and they're like, I don't get that group of people. And then they realize if, like, let's say they meet me and I'm pretty chill, or whatever they think about me, hopefully it's a positive thing. And then they realize I'm trans and they're like, oh, I thought in their brain, trans people were, filled these check these boxes in their visual, perception of what somebody who's trans. And so it's like, it's funny because if I come out to somebody like, oh my gosh, like I knew these people that were actresses or actors that are famous and they're trans, but you're the first person I met in real life. And I always joke and say to them that you know of, because really, I mean, there may be some things that people say, oh, like this, that, and the other thing. Okay, now it makes sense that person's trans. But there are very feminine, cis gender men, and there are very, anyways, I don't want to go down all that, but
yeah, my favorite is like, why do they have to be so gay?
I'm always happy.
I'm happy all the time.
Why do they have to be so flamboyant? Because that's who they are.
Yeah,
right.
You go, girl.
And, and sometimes if people are out there and they're thinking about coming out or whatever, they're not going to associate necessarily with the flamboyant gays because it's guilt by association.
Right.
So there's that too. But
because what by association? I missed that.
What now?
Oh, I missed what Dawn said. Something by association. Guilty? Did you say?
Guilt by association.
Okay.
If you're with a gay person, and other people see you with a gay person, you're probably gay.
Yep.
Maybe not.
You get that all the time.
But you will get guilt.
It's hilarious. Yeah, you get that all the time.
But again, if you were raised in an area that has a bigger city, that you know more about it, or you've been around it, or you know some people that are in your community that you know, then again, you have a brighter awareness of it. Then it's just, okay, no big deal. Whereas if you have somebody that's from a smaller town that doesn't know much about it, then it brings it up to, okay, then they have more questions. And that's the way I look at it, because that's why I was from a big city. Now I'm in a city in the country. So you do see a little bit of difference in both city and life. And
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna take your games unless I'm in town.
That's right, Corbin.
Yeah, so process I'm not safe and proud out loud. It's just now. I have to think about my business, but thank you.
Yeah.
It's the same with race. I've been opening up myself to teach my non-Black friends things. The stupid questions being answered in a respectful way that can change someone's outlook.
Yeah.
Facts. That is so true.
Hey, Craig.
What's going on,
Craig?
Craig in the house? Don Gwynch, agreed. Facts.
We don't know. Yeah.
I love that phrase. We don't know what we don't know. But also, when you know better, then do better. I think, actually, Katie, who is
Maya
that?
Angelou said that.
Never mind, Mary knew.
Because it's one of my favorites.
It was a quiz. Ding, ding, you win a prize.
It's good for me to remind myself when I know better to do better.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, people, nothing annoys me more than people who will get all this information. They understand who you are. They understand what is proper to say and not to say, let's say, for about anything. And they're like, well, I'm just an asshole and I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
No, do better.
Yeah.
Be a better person.
Right.
You know.
So guys,
Try.
it is our little 10-minute wind down. So guys in the chat, you know what time it is. Don't type nothing else in the chat so I can catch up.
We're behind.
You know how that goes.
Be back in a half hour. Yeah.
I know, right?
We are gonna speed through this.
Speed through some
Ella,
questions people
why
Google.
you don't have your pants on? I just glanced up at 12:45. Ella said, "Sorry, I meant to say I put my pants on." What?
Oh my God. Okay.
Because Google be BSing sometimes. That's facts. Google
That's
do be
true.
giving you some BS, but we can kind of read through, especially adults. We kind of know what articles you can always find.
Yeah.
You know what time it is. I suppose getting asked questions by strangers is more awkward than a friend who is trying to come up with facts, and that's what it really boils down
That
to.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
we can't be asking people we just met 2 days ago about all their business.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, if you're Googling stuff, we have cookies in everything we do, right? There, the minute you look up, orthopedic socks, you're getting ads for orthopedic socks and
Right.
Facebook. So do Google this information in incognito mode. All right. That number one, it doesn't show up in your browser history that way. Number two, you're going to get a non-biased view of whatever you're looking for.
Oh, that's a good point.
Most of the facts straight up versus colored one way or the other, pro or con. It's just the way the internet works.
Based
So
on your
try
history.
Googling stuff in incognito mode, and you will find that you're getting different answers, different things.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. I do that with my listings when I be searching on Google sometimes.
I do too.
Yeah.
Or
RA when I
We learned that one on the Holla first time we did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone had an item for sale, and we both opened it up in regular Google. I mean, in the regular eBay, and we wound up with all kind of stuff. It's like never again.
Yeah.
Do it in
Yeah.
incognito.
Yeah, you gotta do it in incognito. That's what I call it.
Like, you asked for this, you might be interested in this. Like, ooh, I'm not.
In October we can all live out loud together. Greenville ain't ready. Yes, turn up for the thing that's going on in Greenville. Y'all know what time it is.
Turn up.
Hey everyone, SSK. Just in
Ken.
time as we wind down. My aunt used to try to cure my cousin of his gayness. Fortunately, he still felt loved by her, and it was more of a funny situation than of a non-acceptance. Maybe he was just accepting it as a funny situation. Maybe he just got tired of it and just replaced that not feeling of insignificant with, well, let me just turn that into
A joke.
laughter and joke. Because that's what sometimes we do. We try to cover our hurt with something else.
Right.
So maybe that's what was really going on.
Yeah.
A panel of some of my favorite people. I know all those people right there. All those people. Not much, man, hanging in there, talking to each other.
Yep.
Two hip chicks. I'm sorry you guys went through that. For real.
Really?
I agree.
Really?
People are assholes. Always have been, always will be. My son is Bob. My niece has been with her for 15 years, and my stepbrother has been with his husband 22 years. It's always been about acceptance in our family, hoping they are happy.
Cool with that.
Facts. Cameron's voice is deeper than mine. And that's annoying. Facts.
So,
I'm not saying you should hear him say
can't,
Reseller
like, when I
Raleigh.
try to go high.
You say Raleigh. I was like, what?
That was dope. I saw the video of that. That was dope. That was
Okay.
cool.
Unless
Two
you're
things.
Did you do that all on your own, Cameron?
No.
Oh.
So I have to give credit where credit is due. If you watch Danica, Lady Luck Junk's video, she filmed it from her perspective, and you'll hear her whispering behind the camera saying, Cameron, you should do something really loud and like some kind of a chant. And I was like, no, that'll piss people off. Is it too late? And she's like, no, it's 9:55. Like, you hear that. And so I succumbed to the peer pressure, of course, and I had liquid courage.
It was
So
cool.
it's Danica's fault.
Thrust into greatness. That's it.
It's Danica's fault.
Yeah, I can see Cameron doing this. Yeah.
And it was before quiet time. It was 9:55, which it still was pretty late. And I felt badly after I did it. Like, oh, that was probably too late in the evening to do that. But I don't know. It was a Friday night.
We can't go back to that hotel. This is why, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the 86 me, yeah.
It's like that camera guy.
But I'm happy I met Cameron, had a good time that weekend.
Yeah.
It was really, I was just amazed. Like that experience was, I didn't expect it. And coming out of it, it was just, I had a blast, man.
It was
I
fun.
had a blast.
Thanks for driving us around that day.
No
We were
problem,
driving,
man.
and I was like, Dante, where are we going? And he's like, we're just driving, man. Just chill.
Right, I don't
And I was
know.
like, all right, cool. That's kind of a fun concept to just like drive around town.
Yeah, that's why when I go to any new city, that's what I like to try to do, man. Just like get in the car and just ride around, try to see like the main sites, and then normally you'll get into something like how we rolled past that downtown area or whatever, and we stopped and we got out, and like that was just, I don't know, it's just randomness. I'm a believer in experiences, man. We have to like live life experiences more than like physical stuff. I'm just really getting to that mindset.
He's
really.
a touchy-feely kind of guy. He needs to see it.
As you can see.
There you go.
Christianity gets a bad reputation for accepting people. You know, we'll get in that conversation. What's up, peeps? Hello, Shoe Bear. Thank you so much. I'm sorry much for everybody's comments, but we have some Father's Day things that we need to do. He said blue, not periwinkle.
Periwinkle.
Or aqua, or
Periwinkle.
they still a guy
Still a guy
thing.
thing.
What is periwinkle? That's new to me. Try grandfather raising your native and grandmother Catholic. This is a good combo, but I gotta go.
Color of a purple, isn't it?
I thought it was a little purplish, not just blue.
Yeah.
I'll Google it as soon as remember that, our favorite word, Google.
It's like a lavender mix, I think.
It's like that.
Is that it?
Is that periwinkle?
That looks
Oh,
blue.
I thought it was like a lavender mix.
Yeah, it's like a lavender purple.
Yeah.
Have you ever saw Steel Magnolia?
Oh, those look gray.
You're not gay or religious.
It was in one of the colors on Steel Magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
Against being biracial is really tough. You really don't fit in with any race. I've endured this all my life. Love you guys. You are black. You fit in with us.
Yeah, so I relate to that a lot. Being Latina and white and having some Native American in me too. Like, I feel like I have to pick, and because white looks better on me and more accepted, like I've been told my whole life, no, you're white. And so that's a frustrating thing. And I would just encourage you to feel like you don't have to pick a side. You can be black when you want to be black. You can be white when you want to be white. You can be both. You can just identify as one. Like, it's who you are. So it's okay to have a mixture. It's okay. Yeah. We're all mixed with something. So
yes, we
I
are.
call myself a white freaking Rican.
You are. I'm a mutt. Yeah, we're all mutts.
Yes. I'm pretty white. I'm about as white as they come.
Bye,
But
kid.
the thing is I've never had a group. In the beginning, some groups were kind of like, especially the Latino culture, like they're like, you don't speak Spanish, you don't do this. But that's been changing. That's been evolving. And they're understanding that like second, third generation kids have lost that language. And let's be honest, Spanish is a colonizer language anyways. It's not native Aztec Mayan language anyhow. So, they're trying to.
A lot of us, when we were growing up, our family didn't want us to know what the French culture, because they wanted to know if they were going to talk about us as kids. They didn't want us to hear what they were talking about, so you never really learned. That's the sad thing about it, because in the Cajun French culture, that was the fluid language down in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And now that whole generation's gone, because a lot of us were not taught that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't have a donut. I am so dead right now.
Oh my
Veronica, thank you so much for joining us. Talking she's one of those people. Their birthday party, all the peeps. I made a post about their privileges on Instagram. Not talking to me, Tanya. Not talking to me. Not talking to me. I didn't want up there any.
Way behind.
Oh my God!
Way far behind.
Hey, thank you so much, Angie. I'm scared.
Hi, Angie.
Hey, Angie, if you're still here.
Yeah. Really well.
So, I'm going to end like this. First, I want to say happy Father's Day, Johnny and Cameron. Thank you so much for joining us. And y'all are amazing. Everybody's amazing in their own unique way. Everybody's special in their own way. We're all here for a purpose. Thank you so much for filling me up with some more education, myself personally. Thank you for even wanting to come on the show with me to be able to educate my subscribers and just to have this open conversation. Like, we came in here, we had an idea what we were going to talk about, but nothing was planned. I think we had some great conversation, in my personal opinion. Thank you everybody in the chat for being open to this conversation as well. It's amazing, man. That's why I love this community, just because a lot of people, we're just so open. We want to know, we want to learn, and we want to be better for each other. And that's all with blessing each other, like learning somebody else's culture, learning something about somebody else. That's a part of blessing as well. Not saying you have to agree with everybody 100% of the time, but don't be closed-minded. You never know what somebody's going through. You can just be an ear for somebody. Yeah, so this community is great, man. Thank you again, y'all. And at this time, we're going to go in reverse order and give everybody the big screen one more again. So we're going to go Cameron, Johnny, and then the lovely ladies.
Look at his face like, what?
Promote yourself.
Yeah, promote yourself. Tell people where to find you, what you got coming up, and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, I've committed to putting out 2 videos a week. So if you come to my channel, you can expect a what sold this weekend on Mondays. Hoping I get some more sales today to add to that video that I started recording already. And then like a Thursday is some type of like thrift with me. So whether it's my partner and I, like having gone to garage sales the previous weekend, or like at a Goodwill bins, or some type of thrifting or thrift haul video. Also, I'm a big kid. Like, I'm 40 years old, but no one believes it. In fact, I had to show my ID to some people in Cincinnati because they didn't believe it. And I think part of that is that I'm like this little 5'4", 155-pound trans dude. So I've gone through a second puberty, and I'm Costa Rican. So like, I already looked young for my age, even before I transitioned. So, so yes, I'm a big kid at 40 years old. So if you like, you know, the inappropriate, sometimes sexual innuendos and jokes, then like maybe you might want to watch my channel. Also with Paul, the Philly Flipper, he and I are doing auctions every other week now. So once we'll be on his channel once a month, and once on my channel once a month. And I hope it's okay, Paul, if you watch this later, to announce this, but we're going to also have guests on each time. And so that will be fun because each of us will bring 7 items to auction off. And even if you don't want to buy items, sometimes I like go watch people's auctions with no intention of buying, just because I want to hang out with the friends in the chat. Totally welcome to do that if you want to come hang out with us and our auctions. And Sal and I on Sundays, we're not doing it today because I was on this show, but on Sundays, he and I also do like a live listing at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sundays. So we just get work done and interact and hang out in the chat. But thank you so much, KT and Dante, aka Katey, for having us on. I really appreciate it. Y'all are the best.
All right, you can catch me on my morning shows Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Every day I have a different guest. Just found out my guest tomorrow will not be there. So again, usually when I don't have a guest or within the first hour of a guest on the show, I do drop the link and let everybody come on in, and at least keeping it positive. We want to promote channels and get people to their next milestone of their channel. And so I do a lot of promoting channels on my channel. I just reached the 1K, and I do have 2 polls on my channel right now on the community page. I would like everybody to take a chance and look at that and let me know your feedback on that. I also do every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I do a bingo fun night on Monday night, every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern with my co-host Dina. We do free gifts for everyone who wins. Every Tuesday, it's the Holla Dollar Money in Motion. That's at 3 p.m. with Dawn. She is my co-host from Two Hip Chicks. And then every Wednesday at 3 p.m. as well, we have the Hump Day auction, which is Miss Debbie Maxwell Thrifton, Miss Debbie. We also have Miss Nancy from Miss Vintage Ivy, and also Anthony Pittsburgh. They're our co-hosts that we are doing this every Wednesday. So come out and check it out. We'll have a little bit of something for everyone. And I do put out a video once a week. And right now I am doing a series on when I did the vacation at Illinois Lake House and our meetups and who we met up with and collabed with while we were there. So check those out. Every Friday I'll put them out.
We're loud and proud right now.
We're big. We're big. What can I say? We're big in YouTube. We're slackers compared to those 2.
YouTube?
We're big. We are slackers compared to those 2. We are not doing all that. I'm sorry, but we're old.
We're resellers and we sell stuff.
We sell stuff, and we have a live show.
And we have a lot of unprocessed inventory.
Boy, do we ever. We have a live show Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon.
we're like this.
We do this.
We do this.
This is us. And then we're also, of course, Johnny has already mentioned that I'm co-hosting, I guess, with the Dala Hala Money in Motion, sell your stuff on different platforms show. So there's that. But I'm also working on some videos. And we just got to start.
There's just not enough time in the day, guys. I don't know where either one of. Are you drinking like those Red Bulls or something?
Oh, not me.
Maybe that's the trick.
These two are like, oh, we're doing this.
Energizer Bunny,
I'm
man.
collaborating with this guy and this guy. I'm shining shoes on the corner on 3rd and Maple, and now I'm doing this. We're just here.
I gave up the corners when I left New Orleans.
One of us does something. I'll do laundry. I mean, really, we're resellers. We're I'm not doing that much on YouTube, I guess. We need to do more.
Well, that's on you.
We should do more. Tuesdays and
I have
Thursdays.
to paint the garage.
Please come by and check out the two of us doing this, basically.
Johnny can attest to
Yeah,
he's
our
met us
show.
in person.
We talk about anything. We don't care. So this
Part
is
one of my videos.
There you go. So come on down.
And thank you
Whoever
for
said
having
no,
us.
Thank you
just
guys for
large
having
mugs of coffee.
And Katie.
So I'm just kind of dropping videos whenever I feel like it. To be 100% honest, I just started a new author interview series to try and put out a little bit more writing and book related content that isn't reselling. So that accidentally premiered at 9 a.m. the other day because I don't know what I'm doing from my phone. But I'm hopefully going to start doing that at least once a month. I've got a couple more interviews lined up, so I'll have a good queue, and we'll be dropping some of those videos. And then us on Sundays at 2, Katey.
And thank you so much, my better half. And I want to say that Cheryl, first of all, you can never, ever talk too much in the chat at all. So I saw that comment, just want to address that. And as far as me, you know what time it is. Prison2Profit, yada, yada, channel, yada, yada, merch, yada, yada, convention, yada, yada, love you guys, yada, yada, Father's Day, yada, yada, all that good stuff, yada, yada.
Happy
Yada,
Juneteenth.
yada.
Happy June. Yeah, happy Juneteenth.
Yeah,
Yeah, about that.
That's right.
Yeah,
Juneteenth.
it
represent.
is.
And it's my first Father's Day, guys. Got my first Father's Day gift ever.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my little Izzy. Izzy!
Izzy,
Let me show you off where I go.
come here, Mija.
She's probably playing the game.
Mija, venga aquí.
Is he two-legged or
Yeah,
four-legged?
Since you were my
Two-legged.
hi,
Hey.
you got me something for Father's Day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. I just wanted to brag and show you off.
She just poses.
Okay.
Dude,
Okay,
I
guys,
love
well,
that she's
as always,
wearing
for real.
that tail.
Yeah, that's very
She's like, can I go back in my room?
Most importantly, after you soak up all this knowledge, you know the one thing I really, really, really want you to do, and that is go bless somebody today, because that's what life's about. Like, really, like if you don't know anything else, that is definitely part of life. Like, we're meant to take care of each other. Like, you ain't even, today it ain't got to be a person. It could be an animal, nature, tree. Like, if you see some crap on the ground, pick it up, throw it in the trash.
Go talk to squirrels like Tae did this morning.
See,
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
See, first of all,
Make a difference, you know.
Well, we got to talk about it live. Anyways, now I'm embarrassed. I got to go. Make sure you bless somebody today. I promise you I'm going to bless somebody tomorrow. At this point in time, Tae, Johnny, Dawn, Mary, and Cameron, we are out in broadcast.